Today is day 3 of Hunter Biden's trial in Wilmington, Delaware. The president's son is on trial for gun charges related to a rough period in his life a few years ago. Even though this is the first time a sitting president's child has been on trial, the media attention has been pretty muted. But yesterday, there was a highly dramatic moment outside the courtroom when Hunter Biden's wife confronted someone in the hallway, yelling at them in front of everyone. Wait until you hear what she said to this person. She completely annihilated them. I had never heard of the person she confronted, so I was super curious to find out who they were. And boy, was I shocked at what I learned. I'm going to tell you who this individual is and what exactly happened in their confrontation yesterday. This is a wild story. Hunter Biden is on trial for illegal possession of a gun that he purchased in 2018 and had for 11 days. Federal authorities also claim Hunter lied when he completed a form at the time of purchase that said he was not a user of or addicted to illegal drugs. In a highly unusual move, President Biden allowed the U.S. attorney in Delaware from the Trump administration to stay on and continue his investigation of Hunter Biden that ultimately led to this point. That prosecutor is now special counsel David Weiss, and he has quite the challenge to prove that Hunter Biden was using or addicted to drugs when he bought and possessed the gun. It's safe to say that if Hunter's last name wasn't Biden, this trial wouldn't be happening. Listen to Fox News' Trey Gowdy tell his audience this unpopular truth.
I did gun prosecutions for 6 years. I went after convicted felons. I went after people who were fugitives from justice. I went after lots of different people who were prohibited from possessing a firearm. But I'll bet you there weren't 10 cases prosecuted nationwide of addicts or unlawful drug users who possessed firearms or lied on applications. I bet there weren't a dozen, which makes you wonder, of all the cases you could be pursuing in Delaware, why are you pursuing this one?
But the trial is now in full swing. Up until now, the only drama has been the First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, attending every day. Seated in the front row of the courtroom next to Hunter Biden's wife and Jill Biden's daughter, Ashley Biden, the First Lady is there to support the 54-year-old Hunter Biden, whom she raised as her own son. But there's also been another individual sitting in the courtroom every day. 28-year-old Garrett Ziegler has been following the Hunter Biden trial closer than most people. Like me, you may have never heard of Garrett Ziegler, but he's known in the far-right MAGA world as arguably the leading expert on the Biden family. Ziegler started out as a low-level staffer for Trump aide Peter Navarro, a trade advisor who is now sitting in prison for refusing to testify in Congress. When Peter Navarro left the White House in 2021, Garrett Ziegler began focusing on the Biden family, trying to uncover every detail about them. And when he got his hands on a hard drive that supposedly had the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop, he published a giant report on it. He also put everything online in a massive searchable database that includes photos and videos. In fact, Ziegler claims credit for the salacious photos of Hunter Biden that Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene infamously showed in a hearing. MTG showed the photos in the same order and with the same redactions as in the report produced by Ziegler. Besides being pathetically obsessed with the Biden family, Garrett Ziegler also appears to espouse hateful views about Jewish people and women. He's also shared posts by white supremacist Nick Fuentes and claimed that white people are under attack in America. So it comes as no surprise that when Hunter Biden's wife saw him in the hallway outside the courtroom on Tuesday, she erupted, though no cameras caught the exchange. Melissa Cohen-Biden, Hunter's wife, walked right up to Garrett Ziegler and confronted him. In view of reporters, Melissa pointed her finger at Garrett and said in a loud voice, "You have no right to be here, you Nazi piece of shit." She then walked away and returned to her seat in the courtroom. Ziegler was approached by reporters and responded by saying, "I'm not a Nazi. I'm a believer in the U.S. Constitution. I haven't said one thing to her." That's definitely not a normal response for someone accused of being a Nazi. Usually, if you're trying to prove that you aren't something terrible, you don't counter the accusation by just saying that you believe in the U.S. Constitution. But what do you expect from a parasite that has dedicated their life to spreading nonsense about a family that has given so much to this country through public service? Melissa Cohen-Biden later told reporters that Ziegler has called her horrific Jewish slurs and added that he should be asked why he's never called Jared Kushner any of those Jewish slurs. This trial must be quite stressful for the entire Biden family. Hunter Biden is facing up to 25 years in prison on these gun charges. I don't blame Melissa Cohen-Biden for freaking out on a troll that has dedicated his life to ruining her family. I'd probably give that person a piece of my mind too if I was in her shoes. For all the people that complain that President Biden's Department of Justice is unfair, Hunter Biden's trial completely blows up that narrative. Just like in Donald Trump's New York trial, I will respect the jury's decision when the time comes. Let's see if people on the right do the same.